So I'm going to be talking about testing for nitrogen on farms with drinking water wells. I don't believe there's many in our area, so if this doesn't apply to you, then you don't need to do this reporting. Next slide, please. The general waste discharge requirements for on-farm drinking water wells came into effect in November of 2022. Required sampling came into effect in March 2023. Now, a lot of the forms did not get to the individuals affected prior to that, so that is not a hard date as it stands. The tests need to be performed annually. These will include nitrate and nitrite as nitrogen. Nitrates are probably what you're used to from fertilizers. Nitrites are a shorter lived version of the compounds. It can convert in the system, so we do have to keep track of that as well with dissolved oxygen. Next slide, please. It just came up different for me. Okay. The coalition can provide you with this form, but this is a state water board form. We've shared it with them, but this is our program. The form is kind of what you can see on the right-hand side there. If you're in person and you can't see it too well, we can send you a copy to look it over. It's about 2 pages of information with 2 pages of how to fill it out. We need sampling from every farm using a well or drinking water, even if it's only for your family. So we only need testing for drinking water wells, but this includes wells that are only used periodically. If you're testing your water for nitrogen with another agency, we will work with you through that, and we can probably use that data as long as it's being tested once a year. The information you put on this form will be your drinking water well member information, which I'll talk about a little bit more later. Next slide, please. So you will be sending this to a lab that's certified with an environmental lab accreditation program. They do the data collection, they do the hard science work for you, but they do need to be a certified lab. And you do need to inform them that you're part of the Coachella Valley Irrigated Lands Coalition. Next slide, please. So this is a map of all the ELAP labs. The green dots are ones that are for individuals to use. The blue ones are for bigger corporations. The one that has a black or a red box there is the one just below Riverside. That's Babcock Laboratories. Next slide, please. Now, this is not the only choice by any means, but this is the lab that we have found individuals have appreciated and used the most. So I wanted to include that specific information in case anyone needed their contact info. Next slide, please. So it is possible.
Ryan, can we go back for just 1 minute so they can write down the information?
Absolutely. And if you want to share the version of the slides that I gave you, I'm absolutely okay with that too, if anyone wants that information specifically.
Is this also on your website, Ryan, in terms of the short list of ELAP accredited laboratories that would be applicable to Coachella Valley?
So there is an ELAP website. It's an environmental programs website. It's a little bit of clicking to get to the little map that I showed you, but that is an interactive map that you can click on and find all the laboratory info. Like I said, I have only talked to individuals that have used Babcock in my time with the water board, which is why I wanted to include that one specifically. But there are other local labs if you want to look into it.
Yeah.
Okay, it is possible to collect well water yourself for testing. You'll need to use special bottles tracked through a chain of custody, and you'll need to send those samples to one of those certified labs we just talked about. The most important part of collecting on your own are those chain of custody forms. and following the procedures to get accurate data. The drinking water well information was the one I talked about a little bit earlier on that form I had an example of. Labs will come and do the testing for you, but there's generally a fee. It is not impossible to do the testing yourself as long as you follow their guidelines, and the most important part is that chain of custody form that you'll go along with it. Next slide, please. So once you've sent the samples or had the samples collected, they'll be processed by a certified lab. They create something called a GeoTracker account for you. All you'll need to do with the GeoTracker is get the ID so that we can keep track of the same one over multiple years. You don't need to input any information. The lab should be the one entering all of those results for you. We just want to make sure we're keeping you on the same ID track as you're going. And then just a short reason for why the lab needs all those specific data is that we're just talking inorganic and organic forms, and they do change naturally. So that's why you may see some different data totals there, but the overall nitrogen is what we'll be keeping track of. Next slide, please. Now, this is my most important slide. This is kind of what you need to do when you get that report. If you have less than 10 milligrams per liter of that total nitrogen, then you can just move forward until next year. If they come back as 10 milligrams per liter or above, you need to tell the people using that well right away and tell us here at the Colorado River Basin Water Board. If the well's just for you and your family, once you've told us and everybody that's drinking from it, you have done what you need to as far as that reporting side. If it's a broader drinking well, there's actually specific forms that you would need to send out. And when you let us know that you have that higher than 10 milligrams per liter, we would send you those forms to make sure that everyone knows. It's my understanding that no one in the area is using wells for anyone outside of the family. But if you do want to look at those forms that you would need to report, you can. If the numbers are below 8 milligrams per liter, then for 3 straight years, then you only have to do the testing every 5 years after that. So there's that little window of 8 to 10 where you would just need to keep doing it every year. If you're getting less than 8 milligrams per liter for 3 straight years, you get to put it off until every 5 years. And then next and last slide. You most likely know if you're on our list. If you don't know that you're on our list, or you have a well for drinking water and this is the first time you're hearing about it, the coalition can direct you to me. The water board actually has quite a bit online. If you are on one of those lists, or you have gotten contacted about it and you are not one of the people that has one of those wells, please let us know so that we don't keep bothering you about it. I appreciate your time, and I can take any questions. Hopefully everybody heard me on what we've talked about.